The year 2023 witnessed unprecedented wildfires engulfing vast swaths of land across the globe. These fires were not just isolated events but part of a larger, more troubling pattern that has been emerging over the past few decades. From the Amazon rainforest to the Australian outback, these infernos painted a chilling portrait of a planet in distress. The Amazon, often referred to as the lungs of the Earth, saw vast areas reduced to ash, while the Australian outback, home to unique ecosystems, faced similar devastation. These fires, fueled by rising temperatures and prolonged droughts, are not isolated incidents but stark warnings of the growing climate crisis. The increasing frequency and intensity of these wildfires are directly linked to human activities that have altered the natural balance of our environment. They underscore the urgent need for action, for our planet is warming at an alarming rate, and the consequences are far-reaching and devastating. Melting glaciers contribute to rising sea levels which threaten coastal communities, while forest fires destroy habitats and release massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This is not merely an environmental issue, it is a global crisis that threatens the very fabric of our civilization. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat are all at risk. Cities around the world are grappling with unprecedented levels of pollution, and climate protests have become a common sight as people demand urgent action. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it is our present reality, and its impacts are being felt across the globe. Villages are being flooded, farmlands are turning barren, and millions of people are being displaced from their homes due to extreme weather events. From the melting ice caps to the rising sea levels, the signs are everywhere. Polar bears, once thriving in the Arctic, are now struggling to survive as their icy habitats disappear. From the extreme weather events to the loss of biodiversity, the evidence is irrefutable. Our planet is in peril. Hurricanes and typhoons are becoming more destructive, and countless species are facing extinction as their habitats are destroyed. The evidence is irrefutable. Our planet is in peril. Deforestation continues at an alarming rate, and rivers that once teemed with life are now choked with pollution. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. Time is running out, and the window for meaningful action is rapidly closing. Every second counts in our fight against climate change. We are standing at a crossroads, and the choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and generations to come. The path we choose will either lead to a sustainable future or to irreversible damage. The time for complacency is long gone. Now is the time for decisive and collective action. Governments, businesses, and individuals must all play their part in reducing carbon emissions, protecting natural habitats, and investing in renewable energy. We must act now, and we must act together to avert this looming catastrophe. It is only through unity and determination that we can hope to secure a livable planet for future generations. The urgency of climate change demands our immediate attention and unwavering commitment. The year 2024 stands as a pivotal moment in human history. It is a year that will be remembered for the choices we make and the actions we take. As the clock strikes midnight and we step into this new year, we are faced with a profound responsibility. It is the year where we must confront the reality of climate change head-on. The signs are all around us: melting glaciers, polluted air, and parched lands. These are not just images on a screen, they are the stark reality of our world today. We can no longer afford to delay action. The consequences of inaction are simply too dire to contemplate. Wildfires rage through our forests, floodwaters inundate our streets, and the headlines are filled with stories of climate disasters. Each disaster is a reminder of the urgency of our situation. The decisions we make this year will have repercussions for decades, even centuries to come. Our children and grandchildren will inherit the world we shape today. It is our duty to ensure that they inherit a planet that is not only livable, but thriving. Scientists warn that we are rapidly approaching a point of no return, a tipping point beyond which the damage to our planet may be irreversible. The evidence is clear. Ice cores reveal the history of our climate, coral reefs bleach and die, and forests are cut down at an alarming rate. The Earth's climate is changing at an unprecedented rate, and the window of opportunity to mitigate the worst effects is closing fast. Polar bears struggle to survive on melting ice, lakes shrink, and extreme weather events become more frequent and severe. This year, we must transition from awareness to action, from rhetoric to results. Planting trees, marching for climate action, and installing solar panels are steps in the right direction, but we need to do more. We need bold leadership, innovative solutions, and a global commitment to addressing this crisis with the urgency it demands. World leaders must come together at climate summits, engineers must develop renewable energy projects, and students must be educated in sustainable technologies. The time for half measures is over. We need a complete overhaul of our energy systems, our transportation infrastructure, and our consumption patterns. Wind turbines, electric vehicles, and zero-waste practices are just the beginning. We must rethink every aspect of our lives. 2024 must be the year we collectively decide to change course, to steer our planet away from the brink of disaster. It is a year for unity and decisive action. We must come together as a global community to demand and implement change. It is a year of immense challenges, but also of tremendous opportunity. Community gardens, solar farms, and sustainability education are just a few examples of how we can make a difference. Each small action contributes to a larger movement. By harnessing our ingenuity, our collective will, and our shared responsibility for this planet, we can still avert the worst-case scenarios and build a sustainable future for all. Scientists, communities, and cities must work together to create a thriving green world. The future is in our hands, and 2024 is the year to make it happen. The Earth's average temperature is steadily rising, a phenomenon unequivocally linked to human activity. This increase, though seemingly small in degrees, has profound and far-reaching consequences for our planet's delicate ecosystems and the intricate web of life they support. As temperatures climb, glaciers and ice caps melt at an alarming rate, contributing to rising sea levels that threaten coastal communities worldwide. The very fabric of our planet's climate system is being disrupted, leading to more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts, and other extreme weather events. These rising temperatures also exacerbate existing environmental problems. Water scarcity becomes more acute in already arid regions, while rising sea levels contaminate freshwater sources and displace millions of people. The delicate balance of nature is being thrown into disarray, with potentially catastrophic consequences for human societies. The impacts of rising temperatures are not limited to the environment. They also pose significant threats to human health and well-being. Heat-related illnesses are on the rise, while changing climate patterns contribute to the spread of infectious diseases. Food security is also threatened as crop yields decline in regions affected by drought and extreme heat. Section 4. Nature's Fury Unleashed. Extreme weather events on the rise. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is manifesting itself in the here and now through a surge in extreme weather events across the globe. The evidence is undeniable, and the impacts are being felt in every corner of the world. From devastating hurricanes and floods that submerge entire neighborhoods and displace thousands of people, to prolonged droughts that parch the land and wildfires that consume everything in their path, the frequency and intensity of these events are increasing at an alarming rate, with each passing year setting new records for extreme weather. These disasters leave a trail of destruction and displacement in their wake, affecting millions of lives and causing untold suffering. The science is clear. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, which means that when it rains, it pours. This leads to more intense rainfall and a higher risk of flooding, especially in areas that are already vulnerable. Floodwaters can rise rapidly, overwhelming rivers and drainage systems, and causing widespread damage to homes, businesses, and infrastructure. Conversely, prolonged periods of heat lead to drier conditions, turning fertile land into barren deserts and creating perfect conditions for wildfires to ignite and spread rapidly. Wildfires can devastate entire regions, destroying forests, wildlife habitats, and human settlements, and leaving behind a charred and desolate landscape. These events, once considered rare occurrences, are becoming increasingly commonplace, pushing communities and ecosystems to their breaking point. The resilience of both human and natural systems is being tested like never before. Communities are being forced to evacuate, sometimes repeatedly, and ecosystems are struggling to recover from the relentless onslaught of extreme weather. The human toll of these disasters is immeasurable. Lives are lost, homes are destroyed, and livelihoods are disrupted. Families are torn apart, and the psychological impact on survivors can be profound and long-lasting. The economic costs are staggering, as governments and communities grapple with the aftermath of these events. The financial burden of rebuilding and recovery is immense, often stretching resources to their limits. Emergency relief operations are launched, and rebuilding efforts begin, but the road to recovery is long and arduous. Resources that could have been used for development and progress are diverted to address the immediate needs of disaster-stricken areas. This diversion of resources impacts other critical areas like healthcare, education, and infrastructure development, further compounding the challenges faced by affected communities. These extreme weather events are a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet's systems and the profound impact human activities have on the natural world. The delicate balance of our ecosystems is being disrupted, with far-reaching consequences. Human activities, such as industrial pollution and deforestation, are exacerbating the problem, contributing to the acceleration of climate change and the increase in extreme weather events. These events serve as a wake-up call, urging us to take immediate and decisive action to mitigate the effects of climate change before it's too late. The time for complacency is over. We must act now to protect our planet and future generations. By investing in renewable energy projects, reforestation efforts, and sustainable practices, we can reduce our carbon footprint and help restore the balance of our planet's ecosystems. The future of our world depends on the actions we take today. Section 5. The Vanishing World: Biodiversity Loss and its Impacts. The Earth is currently experiencing a biodiversity crisis, with species disappearing at an alarming rate, a phenomenon driven largely by climate change and habitat destruction. This loss of biodiversity, often referred to as the sixth mass extinction, has profound implications for the health of our planet and the future of humanity. Each species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, plays a vital role in the intricate web of life. The loss of even a single species can have cascading effects throughout the ecosystem, disrupting food chains, pollination, and other essential ecological processes. Biodiversity underpins the health of our planet and our own well-being. It provides us with food, clean air and water, medicines, and countless other essential resources. The loss of biodiversity weakens the resilience of ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to climate change and other environmental stressors. Protecting biodiversity is not just about saving species from extinction, it's about safeguarding the future of humanity. We must act now to conserve our planet's dwindling biodiversity, for the sake of future generations and the health of our planet.